Hello and welcome to Pilates. I'm Karen Rudnan and I'm very excited to spend this time with you. It is a beautiful June morning and I'm looking forward to inspiring you in this great class. So we're going to do a variety of things today and I just want to share with you the props I have, which are household items. I have 2 water bottles as such, and then I also have a dowel. And the dowel is just a Home Depot item. I believe it was $3 or $4. You can use a broom handle, you can use nothing, you can use a foam roller or a wall. But you'll see how we will incorporate this in our class today. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to stand, and we always want to be conscious of our alignment. So let's review. We're standing in the tripod of our feet, so that means that we have equal body weight between our big toe, baby toe, and heel. We're centered. Our center of gravity is right at the tailbone. We've got that right anchoring towards the floor. We've got the ribs over the pelvis. The ribs are stacked. We're going to start with an inhale, bringing the arms up, and an exhale to bring the arms down. So just mobilize those shoulders with an active breath. Inhale up and exhale down. You should be able to hear yourself breathe in and out. Let's reverse that. Let's inhale up and exhale down. So typically 4 or 6 are the quantity that we use in class, sometimes 50 more. Now from here, we're going to go against the wall. I just have a plain old wall behind me, and we're going to think about using the abdominals as we bend forward. So this is not a hip hinge. This is using the abdominals, which stretches the spine, keeping them active as you bring your fingertips towards the floor. And then as you come up, you want to feel like you are literally stacking your ribs over your pelvis and coming back up. If you start against the wall, you'll have the feedback of the wall guiding you so that you won't go behind or become out of alignment. So here we go. My heels are a few inches away. We're going to start with a breath. My fingers are right at the ribs at the top of the pelvis. We're going to peel those close together, come all the way down. You'll feel the length of your hamstrings. Then you're going to stack the ribs over the pelvis and come up. So every time you do this, we're going to do 2 or 3, you're going to walk away a little further. So you'll lose the contact of the wall, but you still have the same image as you come down and as you come back up. And there's a fancy name for what we're doing, and that's called spinal articulation. We're moving the joints of the spine, and you'll understand the relationship of the abdominals and the spine. They work, the abdominals work as you come forward, and the back muscles work as you come back up. I'm going to face the side so you can see this from this view. Inhale and exhale. Now let's combine these together where we just bring the arms up and down. We're warming up here. Active breath. And then we reverse the circle. Then we're going to stack up just as we did a moment ago. Nod the chin, peel, come all the way down. And then once again, stack and come all the way up. This will be our last time, coming all the way down and coming all the way up. So we're going to move on to our mat, and I'm going to face this wall. And I'm going to take a water bottle under my left foot and another one under my right. So this will allow me to roll. It's a little noisy, but I think you'll get the idea. So I've got the water bottles pretty much under the first joints of the toes, right below the toes. So the arms are forward, the spine is stacked. We're looking forward, the shoulders are relaxed. We inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to feel that same relationship of abdominals and spine, and then inhale and come up. So I'm just going to roll the water bottles towards me and roll them back. And again. And we're going to do this 3 more times, then come all the way down into supine position where we're lying on the mat. And last time. So we're here. All the way down. I'm going to have you pause, bring one arm out to the side, bring it up to the ceiling, out to the side, and forward. We're switching. Out, up, out, forward, switching. Out, up, out, forward, switching. Out, up, out. Now we work together. Out, up, out, forward. Out, up, out, forward. You will definitely feel your quads in this position. You'll feel lots of things. We're going to hold the arms parallel to the floor, roll the water bottles towards the sitting bones, and let's lie down on our back. And let's make sure that we have the relationship of pubic bone and hip bones level. Keeping the knees in a tabletop position, hands are by your side, slide them away from your ears and anchor a few fingers onto the mat and just tap your toes. Tap, tap, tap. So right now, the lower leg is pretty close to me, but I'm actually going to reach them, almost as if I'm reaching to feel water or just test the temperature of water. So we started in a tapping, and then we progressed to a reaching and a reaching. And you'll feel the demand that the leg extending away from the body places on the abdominals. Now let's go back where the knees are in a tabletop position. Let's bring one arm up in case this is my right. And I'm going to lower my right leg. So now my left knee is up into a tabletop. And I'm going to reach both away and come back up. So to actually make this a little bit more challenging, I'm going to lift my left arm off the mat, which decreases the amount of stability I'm getting from just the placement of my arms. It's really more in core stability. And I'll do 2 more on this side, and then the very last time. So everything comes back, we're switching. Opposite leg is at a tabletop, other leg is straight at the ground. Opposite arm in opposition, we reach away and we come back. Pay attention to your range of motion, always making sure that you do not feel your back arch, in which case you would decrease your range of motion or just go a little bit closer in. So I've got 2 more on this side, and then coming back, knees are in a tabletop position. I'm going to sway my arm, or bring my arms out to the sides of the room, and just begin to sway my legs side to side. This is a very, very small range of motion as we're just rocking back and forth. So as you're doing this, you still have contact of the sitting bones onto your mat. So we've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. So I'm over to my right side. I'm going to place my legs on the right side of my mat, take my right arm underneath my ear, left arm is in front of me with the shoulder relaxed, getting ready for book opening where we reach the arm up to the ceiling, holding the arm, we rotate the spine, and then allow that arm drape on the mat or the floor, bring it back up to the ceiling, and rotate spine and arm back to your original position. So we inhale to bring the arm up, and we exhale to rotate, stretching the chest and the middle back, up to the ceiling, and again. So if you use a book, more or less as a metaphor, you're opening your pages, and then you're bringing your pages back to a closed position. And we'll do 2 more on this side, and then we'll switch all the way out. The congruency of the shoulder and the spine working, they work together versus one more so than the other. So I'm going to actually place everything over to the opposite side, switching, relaxing the shoulder, arms up, exhale to rotate the spine as well as open up the shoulder, bring the arm up to the ceiling, bringing it back to close the book. Inhale to reach it up, exhale to open. Inhale to reach it up, and exhale to close. This is a 4-breath pattern. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Repeating. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Last time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Let's go back onto the mat. Once again, pubic bone and hip bones level. Legs come up into a tabletop. We're going to bring the arms up to the ceiling. Keeping the legs in place, we're just going to reach the arms over the head. Breathing out, breathing in. If you feel that there's a lot of restriction in your shoulders and your back is arching as your arms approach overhead, I want you to decrease that range of motion so it's a little bit less or shorter. Now let's hold the arms here, perpendicular to the floor, and let's reach the legs away. Once again, paying attention to your range of motion. Exhale as you extend, inhale as you bend. Now we're going to actually combine those together. So tabletop legs, arms perpendicular to the floor, inhale to stay, and exhale to reach away, and inhale to return. Again. So we're going to begin to pick up our pace just a little bit. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Hands by your side. Slide the fingers away from the ears. Press the fingers into the mat. Nod your chin. Take your fist, place it underneath your chin so that when you lift your head off, you've got the right distance. Retract the chin. Slide the arms down by your side, reach the legs forward, bend the knees in. If you have any sort of osteoporosis or restrictions in your neck, you should absolutely keep your head, neck, and shoulders onto the mat. Let's review this procedure together. All the way down, relaxing the shoulders, nodding the chin, lifting the head, retracting the chin, pulling the shoulders away from the ears so the collarbone is wide. We're going to lift the arms and just press them towards our mat. So as we prepare for the 100s, the motion comes from the arms versus from the wrists. So we'll inhale for 5, and on the exhale, change the position of the legs to anything that you feel like you'd like to do. In this case, I'm just extending my legs and out 2, 3, 4, and 20. 2, 3, 4, 5. 30. And out 2, 3, 4, and 40, in 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 50, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 60, 2, 3, 4, 5, 70, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 80, in 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 90, last, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 100, bend the knees, upper spine comes down. Grab the backs of your thighs, bring the feet to the floor, assisted roll up, you touch your feet, sit up tall. I'm going to take the water bottles aside. We're moving on and we're coming up into a quadruped position. So I'm going to teach you something that's really a functional movement, and it's called the marriage proposal. But I'm going to combine it with a little bit of spinal articulation involving cat and cow. Let's review the setup here. Knees are under the hips. You've got your wrists, elbows, and shoulders stacked. You're putting more emphasis into the pinky finger and the heel of the hand. You're looking toward the edge of the mat. We start with the breath. On the exhale, we're thinking about the lower back as we pull in the abdominals, rounding, and then eventually coming up to the upper spine. So it's a process of lower back, middle back, and upper back. Again, rounding the spine in 3 parts and extending the spine in 3 parts. And again, rounding the spine and extending the spine. And the more you do this, the easier it'll feel. And one more time. So we're going back into our neutral spine. All 3 curves are present. And the marriage proposal begins in a quadruped, coming up to a kneeling position. Taking one leg and bringing it in front. Notice how the knee's in line with my hip. Taking both hands above the knee, curling the back leg, the toe underneath, leaning forward, coming up into a split lunge, and then bringing the feet together. Let's try this again on the other leg. Quadruped, kneeling, 1 foot forward, hands above, split squat, stand together. I will face you and do the same thing. Quadruped, kneeling, 1 foot forward, split, stand together. Last time. Quadruped, kneeling, 1 leg forward, curl the back leg, the toes under, split squat, stand together. From here, I'm going to hold the dowel, but you can use a wall or nothing. I recommend that you stand on the floor, not on your mat when you're doing this. So I'm placing this to my right side. I'm going to stand on one leg. If you actually use nothing, when you're standing on that one leg, even if you do have a prop, make sure you tighten your glutes so that you have a lot of stability in the upper hip. So we'll do this in both ways. Standing on one foot, making sure the hip does not poke out. Engage your abdominals and lift the knee up and bring the leg to the side. So we're just beginning to mobilize the hips. And if you're really careful, you'll feel a tremendous amount of core stability as you mobilize your leg. I have a light touch on my dowel. Now I'm going to do this, begin here and just circle the leg. Stare in one place, which will help your balance. You can even bring the arm out, and then reversing. Switching. Again, you can use the wall or anything. So we're standing on the opposite leg, tightening the glute, engaging, leg comes up into a bent knee. We rotate the hip out. Light hand on the dowel, or if you're using nothing, you may even want to go slower. Progressing into a circular pattern. Lighter touch. Arms out if you wish, and reversing. Holding. Standing tall. Hands are right up below the hip bones. I'm going to have you extend your hips, bend your knees, and bring your arms forward. Then bring them out to the side and down. Forward, out, and down. Forward, out, and down. Forward, out, and down. Forward, out, and down. Stand tall. From a side view, hip extends, knee bends. Arms are forward, out, and down. Forward, out, and down. Forward, out, and down. Forward, out, and down. Stand tall. Down into a squat. Stay low, 2 steps. 2 steps. 2 steps. 2 steps. A little faster, not much, but just a little. Stand tall. No dowel this time. I'm keeping my hands right at the crest of the pelvis. Circle. Switching. Stabilize. Knees up. Circle. And circle. Reversing. Squatting, arms forward, out and down. I'm just combining these. Hands above the knees, 2 steps. Doesn't matter which direction you go. Lots of blood going through those lower legs. Hips, thighs, the whole bit. 2 more. Last one. Quadruped. Now marriage proposal will feel a little bit different. Neutral spine. Quadruped, kneeling, 1 foot forward, hands above the knees, split squat, feet together, last time. Quadruped, kneeling, 1 foot forward, split squat, and up we come. From here, we're moving on. Water bottle comes back into our quadruped, but notice the position of the knees and the hips. This is where we started. We're now beginning to extend. So the legs are further behind, which places more demand on the abdominals in the back. My hands are a little bit forward. They're slightly more flexed than they were during my quadruped, so I'm away from center. I'm going to take my water bottle in my right hand and take it outside my mat. Then I'm going to exactly do the same thing, but switch. When you're actually changing places of this water bottle, I want you to pay attention to what you feel on the stabilizing side. Go as slow as you like, but avoid momentum. Now, let's see what happens if we can progress this. You can certainly stay here, but if you choose to progress, you're going to curl your toes under and come into a plank. 1 long line. Press down into one hand, move the water bottle away. Switch. 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 Hands down, knees down, kneeling, 1 leg forward and hold. Moving into a stretch. Lean into that leg, tighten the opposite glute, bring that corresponding arm up to the ceiling, lean your body towards the bent knee. Reach to the ceiling. Bring that arm forward on the outside of the leg. Rotate your spine in that direction. Count to 3. Come back to center. Back to a kneeling position. Other leg forward. Lean into the leg. Tighten the opposite glute. Arms up to the ceiling. Reach. Tall, tall, tall. Side bend in towards the bent knee. Bring the hand on the outside of the leg. Rotate the spine in the same direction. Hold. Come back to the center. Have a seat. Water bottles in one hand. I'm going to have you go into your half roll back and just bring one arm up to the ceiling. So in this case, this is my right arm. The left arm is free. You can touch it on the floor if you wish. Now I'm going to add the opposite leg. So the right arm's going to come up as well as the left knee. And I'm not holding on, but you could if you needed to. To progress this, the arm's going to go out. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging to stabilize when the arm is out versus in a linear position. We're going to pause here and sit up tall. Here's our half roll back. Switching the hands. Now it's left and right. Same thing on the opposite side. No arms. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold your water bottle. Go into your half roll back, turn it sideways. Rotate to one side, bring the arms in, rotate to the opposite side, come forward. So I call this around the world. But notice how the arms are slightly lagging the position of the body. Body moves, arm moves, come back to the center. Body moves, arm moves, and again. And again. So the water bottle just gives it a little bit more of a challenge because it's just a few ounces of water, but it definitely would be different if you were not holding it, or a weight, or anything of that nature. So let's go the other direction. We're rotating, coming back around the world. And as we go around the world, you're just extending your elbows in front and to the side with this body moves, arm moves relationship. So we've got 2 more. And the last one, we're going to pause, water bottle to the side. We're going to lay on our side. So we're going to stack our body, and we're going to put our forearm onto the mat so we've got a 90-degree angle, and you're going to really feel the shoulder blade engage. Take your hand on your hip that faces the ceiling, just to make sure that you're really keeping that hip in line. Then place both arms down and lift up on the underside and lift the top leg up. We're going to bring the leg forward and back. A tremendous amount of core engagement. Now, if you feel more comfortable, I'd like you to lie on your side like so. So this would be the regression. This is the progression. It changes just a few things. Then we're going to continue on by creating a circle. Just keep that shoulder blade engaged. And then we'll go the other direction, a full circle. So you feel your hip flex, abduct and extend, and again, and again, and again. Then we're going to pause. We're going to take the heels of the feet together so the toes are facing the corners. We'll glide the foot in, extend the leg up, and bring it down. So the hip is actually rotated in this position, in this exercise. 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to pause before we go to the other side. Position your legs in a Z-sit where your front leg is rotated out, your back leg is rotated in. Bring one arm up to the ceiling and just walk your hand over to the other side very lightly. and then pull your torso up and then your arm. So the majority of the work is coming from your torso, not the weight of your hand pushing from your shoulder. And again, this is our mermaid as we transition, and we'll just do 2 from here. And last one. Now here we go to the other side. Here we go. We're stacking. We've talked about lying down on your side or coming up into a forearm position, in which case you would stabilize the shoulder, forearm at a 90-degree angle. Touch your hand onto the hip, making sure really the crest is facing the ceiling, and lift up on the underside. We lift the top leg, and we just go bringing the leg front and back. So in this case, this is my left arm. I'm really not even holding on. You could, but there's more required of you to be stable versus having your hand assist. Then we'll progress where the leg goes into a circular pattern. Always actively breathing. And then we'll reverse this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs come together. Touch your heels together. Glide the heel on the inside of the opposite leg. Extend the leg up. Bring it back down. Free arm if you can. 3, 4, 6 seems like a good number. We're going to come up. Here's our Z-sit. We're switching, going into our mermaid, coming back up. So remember, in your Z-sit, your front leg is rotated out, your hip is rotated out, your back leg is rotated in. Some people have a challenge in this position. You can always use a blanket, a towel to prop up your hips if you think that'll make you feel more comfortable. And last one. Now we're going to come back, we're going to lie on our tummy and create a field goal position with our arms. So all props aside. I'm using the edge of my mat to guide the distance. My feet are gently apart, about hip distance. I'm going to imagine there's a ball under my nose and roll it forward. Then I'm going to take my forearms and press them into the mat and pull my elbows towards my heels and lift the heart up. Then lift the arms off the mat, reach them forward, bring them back, place them on the mat, and bring everything down. So the steps are: position the head and neck, extend the spine, lift the arms, extend them forward, bend them back, place them on the mat, come down. We've got 3 to go. Head, neck, arms, reach, bend, on the mat, and down. Again, up. Inhaling to extend will definitely feel like it's a little more natural, because as the ribs open up, it lends itself for spinal extension. This will be our last one, and we are extending our spine through this exercise. We're going to take our hands down closer to the body, push down into the heel, back, sit into child's pose, open your legs a little bit, take one hand underneath so the palm faces up, and look towards that hand and reach forward with the opposite arm. Reach, reach, pull in both directions. Then flex your spine a little and go back to that maximum stretch. Let up a little, go back again, and we'll do this one final time. Then we're going to come back, switch, rotating the opposite side, palm up, pull forward and across, pull, let up and flex, pull, let up and flex, pull, and one last time. Then come back to center, have a seat, legs are forward, arms are forward. Sit up tall, pull yourself out of your hips. Half roll back down, slide your heels in, body goes down, upper body stays into a flex position, one leg is forward. Your bent knee, that same arm, you're gonna hold the ankle with that same hand, and opposite arm right below, single leg stretch. So we're gonna exchange on 1, and exchange on 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. This bent knee is up to the ceiling, body comes down. You're gonna hold your ankle or your calf, gently pull it towards your body, circle your ankle in both directions. You can keep your head on the mat if you wish, or you can flex your upper torso. So we're getting ready for scissors. My straight leg is hovering above the ground, and we're gonna switch. I'm gonna circle the ankle in both directions on this leg, and now fluidly, here comes 8. Exchange on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. We're gonna bend both knees, body comes onto the mat, reach your arms up to the ceiling, interlace your fingers, place them behind your head, lift your elbows up just a little bit, and flex your torso. Oblique crisscross, we're gonna rotate our spine without moving the elbows, and opposite leg reaches forward, and then we come back to the center. Rotate, opposite leg, center. And then fluidly, here comes 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to the center, hands behind the knees, touch your feet to the floor, sit up tall. When you're in your oblique crisscross, I just want you to take a moment to interlace your fingers, place them behind your head. You want to make sure that your body moves as a unit, as opposed to the elbows leading. There's so much benefit to be had with really increasing mobility of that upper spine. So from here, we're going to keep our hands where they are. We're going to open the legs hip distance and then extend the arms to the sides of the room. We're getting ready for spine twist. So without moving the position of the arms, we're just going to move the torso and then back to the center. And again to the opposite side. Then we progress to our saw, where we rotate, the front arm reaches towards the foot, and the back arm pulls us tall, and we're back to the center. Rotate, forward, pull back to the center. Rotate, forward, pull back to the center. Rotate, forward, pull back. This will be our last time. Now I'm going to progress into a stretch, so we're back in the center. We're going to take one leg and cross it over. Equal weight in the sitting bones, in which case my left arm, because my right knee is bent, will wrap around. So when you pull this thigh inward, there's a tendency to want to lift the hip. Avoid doing that. Really anchor that sitting bone and rotate the spine. Then take your free hand, place it on the mat, and really engage to feel the tremendous stretch that you'll experience here. So just hold for a moment. Then rotate your spine back to face forward. Take your leg out. So now the knee and the ankle are parallel. You're going to pull the toe up, pressing down on the knee, and just hinge forward. Sit up tall. Let's try that again. Pull the toe up and the knee down. That engages stretching the shin. Then we're going to switch. So opposite leg. In this case, this is my left leg. My right arm comes around. Anchor that sitting bone. Follow it with your gaze. Hold for just a few moments. Then rotate the spine back to the center. Rotate that leg further out to the side. You can readjust the leg if you need to. Pull the knee down, pull the toe up, and just hinge forward ever so slightly. It will not take much to feel the stretch. And then sit up tall. Pressing down, pulling up, hinging forward, and sitting tall. So I'm going to have you take your arms, sit back into your long sit position behind your body. So you're rotating your shoulders so that your thumbs face the outside. Just lift your sternum up to the ceiling. Take a breath and feel the ribs open up. So inhale here, and then exhale through your mouth. Lift the arms and pull yourself tall. It's a very subtle motion. Anchor your hands. Inhale, feel the ribs open, and lift your arms up, pull in the abdominals, sit up tall. Last time. Just your upper spine is extending here, and I'm going to have you just arch your back just a little further. Pull your sternum back, engage your abdominals to sit up tall, face forward, one arm forward, pull it across, almost like you're pulling down towards your wrist. So just hold it here. and let's switch. I hope you've had a great class and you feel great, and this is a great day for everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time.